Hey everyone, it's Alicia. Today I'm going to do my ALA for cognitive psychology. I'm going to answer some questions: what cognitive psychology is and why it's significant, what are three events or ideas which led to the rise of modern cognitive psychology, how the field of cognitive psychology has transformed and expanded, and where the field is at today. So we're going to start off with what cognitive psychology is. Um, so this is, according to Kathleen Galotti, um, it is a part of psychology which is mainly concerned about how people store, transform, use, communicate, and acquire information that is given to us. But it can also put different things into perspective, like how we organize, make decisions, reasons why we do certain things, and also just like overall our mental health, because mental health is a very big thing in psychology. So, cognitive psych is important because as time goes on, it helps us get a deeper understanding of how humans function and just understanding the information that is being received and how other people may receive something and how we can just understand all information that is given to us. So, another thing is three key events or ideas which have made a big rise of modern cognitive psychology. So, the first one that I focused on is human factors. So, this is human factors of engineering, which is explained as a design of new equipment as well as technology that were better suited for people's cognitive abilities, which is from Galotti as well. This was extremely helpful when military personnel were needing to be trained to operate the big machinery, and this was because all of the machinery was kind of designed to fit the needs of the people operating it, such as the operating panels, radar screens, and communication devices, because each person understands things differently, and how can we make them all the same but a little different for how each person learns. Another big part of cognitive psychology is the cognitive revolution, which came with the development of neuroscience, and over time this moved on to be an issue of localization of function. So this is when the mapping of the brain is in different areas, which is a link to different cognitive and motor functions. Well, when it comes to that, how do we link different things to our motor skills and cognitive functions? But it has been shown by Carl Lashy, I believe that's how you say his name, that different parts of our brain can be activated and controlled, and that was in 1929. But he believed there was no reason that major functions like language and memory are localized. But between the time of 1940 and 1950, Donald Hebb suggested that some kind of functions, such as visual perceptions, were constructed over time, which then led into the evolutionary approach, which some of it, most of the time, cognitive abilities and achievements are the ones that we tend to take for granted, and how we perceive three-dimensional objects. But it is very important to find it out because it is not as easy to carry a human mind and understand how it can be developed over time. So the next question is, how has the psychology field transformed over time? And this is pretty easy to explain. It started out pretty small, and as time went on, it just kind of starts to transform because everyone's brain's different and how we perceive things becomes different. And so you can't just look at one person and understand why they're one way, because everyone thinks differently. So that's kind of how it has transformed and expanded, because it started in one place and over time expands with the growth and development of science. And then the field today, it's pretty much the same. It just has been tweaked a little bit. And overall, cognitive psychology, just as time grows, it changes and moves with how the brains are being developed, and if a parent may have drugs in them, just kind of easy to understand. but also is very diverse and hard to really just be like, oh, this person's this way because of that, because each person has something different that's going on in their head. They might be developing slower or faster, and it just depends on where they're at in their life and how fast they develop. So I hope that I answered all of your questions, and we will see you later.